baby. How is Sir Harwin in trouble for fighting Sir Christian when Sir Christian beat somebody to death and faced no consequences?
Now,
like Allison ends up saying to him, I have to believe in the end that honor and decency will prevail. Baby, didn't your daddy peddle you to the king when you was a preteen? What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be recapping episode 6, House of the Dragon. Y'all, I gotta say, okay, this video is late because honestly, I just saw the episode. I am not into this. It's really waning for me. It has been kind of monotonous in my opinion, but I just got to the point where I was like, I don't even care to see the episode. And really, if I didn't need to do this video, I would have continued just not to see the episode. And the episode didn't really blow me away, honestly. I don't know. Is it just me? This is just very... I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm not feeling it. I don't want to say it's boring because they have things going on. And I'm just like, how can you have so much drama and turmoil and ridiculousness, but it still come across very monotonous? Now, in this current episode, you know, we have gotten quite a few time jumps. This, I think, is the biggest time jump we've gotten. It is a 10-year time jump. And I will say the transition to new actors is pretty seamless. And I feel like that's not something easy to accomplish. We are 6 episodes in and we are getting brand new actors to play characters that we have already become familiar with. And honestly, I wasn't really like blown away by the previous characters that are actors that play like Rhaenyra and others. So it was all good to me. And then the characters who play like Lenore and Lena, we really didn't see them in the story to big depth to where we were truly invested in those actors, or at least I wasn't. Now, the episode starts with Rhaenyra giving birth, and I will say I have seen somebody give birth in real life, and the way it is depicted on movies and TV, I don't know, child, who be depicted? Do it be women who have given birth? Because I'm very confused. It is nothing like how it looks on TV. But child, why did they have to have the birthing sounds and like surround sound? It was so weird. It was making my skin crawl. Like they made these sounds where you could literally hear the baby coming down the birth canal, child. And I don't remember hearing that when I was in the delivery room, baby. I didn't hear that. Even when she was like doing the afterbirth, just all the sound of, baby, who are the sound guys? Who is doing the FX stuff? Like, who was in there putting this ish in the episode? Because y'all went too far, child. Now, y'all, not 2 seconds after the baby whole body ain't even passed through Rhaenyra yet when Alicent summons her baby. Y'all, I told y'all that yes, I had got some sympathy for Alicent, but I told y'all she was a snake and she was going to be just like her daddy. I knew she was. And it took one little teeny thing for her to end up flipping and turning to the high tower, dark snake side, which, y'all, is it just me? I really don't know why Alicent is so pressed 10 years later. And baby, when I tell you, I am notorious for holding grudges. And I even think that this is ridiculous. Baby, it's been a decade, honey. So she ends up sending one of the servants requesting that the baby be brought to her. Child, my vagina's still open from pushing out a baby, and I'm trying to walk the halls of the castle to come bring my child to y'all. This too much. And y'all, who was all the folks in the castle? What was going on? It was rustling and bustling in there. I didn't understand that. Like, why is all these folks? Baby, my body is wide open, and I'm walking through the halls with somebody like congratulated her. I'm so happy to be the first to congratulate you. Yeah, nigga, you the first because my coochie's still up. Like, what is going on? This was so ridiculous. And then we gonna get into Viserys and how he the walking dead. I can't even believe Viserys still alive, but he is pissing me off because, baby, you the king, and I need you to have a backbone. Your word is bigger than the queen. It's bigger than your wife. You are the king. It's no way in the world that my daddy, as the king, should have let this woman summon my baby at 2 seconds old. Like, that's so ridiculous. And why the hell would I have my 2-second-old baby traipse through the freaking castle without me? Of course, I'm gonna get my ass up and go with my child, especially when I'm dealing with somebody who I know want my kids dead, because essentially that is what Allison is plotting. Everything that Allison is doing will lead to death for Rhaenyra, her husband, and her kids if it ever really for real comes to light. So why would I put my baby just so y'all can say my baby accidentally died? Nah, child. Now, y'all, so I was surprised to see Viserys still alive. But then, you know what? It was a lot of surprises. Baby, why I saw Sir Christian and his old tired, raggedy ass outside Alicent's door. Oh, y'all, talk about a sore ass loser. Talk about an emotional ass man. Y'all. So... Sir Christian literally has a one-night stand. He don't have a full-blown relationship with Rhaenyra. And he wants this girl to give up her title, give up the throne, give up the crown, live in infamy, give up everything that her father has given her, give up everything her name gives her, to go run away in infamy with him so he can regain his honor. She says no, but say, we gon' still kick it and be together because I got my duties, but I can't run off with you. So she ain't really literal like reject him or kick him to the curb. He knows the situation and the time period they're in. You don't get to choose who you marry. You get betrothed to folks, especially when your daddy is the king. So after that situation, I feel like she let him down gently. Like, nah, nigga, I'm not finna go choose sentiment and a life of infamy with you. I'm gonna choose the title my daddy gave me and my duties here. Even though I scoff at him, I'm not finna just, nah, bro. So she lets him down gently, in my opinion. And this nigga is holding a grudge 10 years later. Like, plotting on her and her kids' death. Being evil to her and her kids. Like, y'all, I can't. But y'all, Rhaenyra gets in there, and I told y'all that Alicent puts on the act. This whole sweet, nice, merciful queen, it's all an act. She gonna offer Rhaenyra a seat and a pillow, tell her she shouldn't be up after giving birth. Bitch, you don't care for real? You summoned my 2-second-old baby, but you gonna act like you concerned. You're not concerned. And Viserys is in that, and it just made me mad. Like, baby, you should not have let this woman summon your daughter who literal just gave birth. Like, baby, it ain't been 5 minutes. Like, I'm telling y'all, the baby was half out when the lady came in to get it. I feel like she told the lady, stand outside the motherfucking door. As soon as you hear the baby cry, tell her to bring the baby to me. It's just so ridiculous. Now, they end up asking what have they named the baby. And I wanted to say, bitch, we ain't had time to name the baby because you called us 2 seconds after the baby came out. But Lenore actually jumps in and says, oh, his name is Joffrey. And remember, y'all, Joffrey was Lenore's boyfriend who Sir Christian killed at their rehearsal dinner. Now, when they walk out, Rhaenyra ends up telling him, yo, next time, don't name my baby without consulting me. And Lenore's like, well, aren't they our kids? Which I appreciate Lenore because they not his biological kids, but he keeps up the air and facade, and he treats the kids just like they're his own. He lets them have their real dad around, but he don't kind of, scoff at the kids and just treat them like dirt. But she was like, baby, I'm the one bleeding. And I feel like Rhaenyra, I always said, if I had a baby, but no, I'm naming the baby. I'm the one bleeding. Now, while they're in there, Alicent looks at the baby. She I don't like her whole demeanor. I'm telling you, I'm feeling like she would kill the poor little baby. And she she has such this attitude and just scoff and scowl when she looking at the baby and when she look at Alicent. And I'm just like, baby, is it really this deep? Like, y'all, she is this to this degree angry and upset over what though? Like, what did, I don't know. So she looks looks at the baby hair. She kind of walks off with him, and Allison looks frightened, worried, as she should be. And Allison ends up handing the baby to Lenore, and she kind of whispers to him, yo, just keep trying, because maybe one day one of the babies will come out looking like you. Y'all, all the shade though from these characters be so ridiculous, and they just say it just normal. But really, I wonder, would Allison care so much about everything that is transgressing with Rhaenyra and all her transgressions if Rhaenyra was not the heir? Would she care so much if Aegon was not the true born heir? Like, why are you so pressed a decade later? It can't be because Rhaenyra had hooked up with Sir Christian. Like, y'all, it just can't be that. It has to be deeper, because you cannot hold a grudge this long because she hooked up with somebody. Like, I don't understand. Is it because your daddy lost his job? I don't understand. Y'all, we literally see a trail of blood following Rhaenyra as she is walking through the hall. Sir Christian can see the trail of blood because he outside the door, and I'm just like, baby, do you care at all? I'm sorry, but you can't claim to love somebody, and the second they do something that you don't like, you just hell-bent on ruining their life. Like, no, that's not how this works. You never loved this girl. Like, this is so disgusting and ridiculous. So we end up seeing Sir Harwin. That's Rhaenyra's new side piece. He's at her side. And I'm sitting here kind of confused though, because Allison feel like, okay, the baby's got dark hair with two white hair parents, so it's obviously, it's obvious that they're not his kids. But I'm confused on how this whole thing worked, because Viserys has white hair, Allison has dark hair, and all their kids got white hair. So if Rhaenyra with her white hair is having babies with somebody with dark hair, why all her kids ain't got white hair? Like, why all her kids got dark hair? I'm not understanding that. Now, Rhaenyra and Lenore, though, should have had some babies together. They made their whole little open marriage situation because Lenore is gay, and they have an understanding between them, because if people find out he gay, he gonna die. And if people find out that Rhaenyra is having sex with anybody that's not her husband, her and the kids gonna die. So we have an understanding, but at the same time, baby, we are literally risking death. So why are we not being smart about this? Y'all could have brought Lenore boyfriend up in there if that's what y'all need to do. But to be smart, we should have had babies together. It just does not make any sense. I know it's something they could have fixed. Baby, they got the Plan BT back in Westeros, so I know we got some kind of way we could have had a baby with the gay boy. Like, it's some, baby, if he had to do something with his boyfriend, and then we take a little turkey baster and we get Rhaenyra pregnant, or give him some kind of medicine to get him a little high or something, I don't know, but we could have done something for us to have a baby together, to keep up. Y'all making it way too obvious for niggas to kill y'all because all your babies got dark hair and both of y'all got white hair. So it's not making sense. And Targaryens are known for white hair, so you can't say, oh, my great grandma, she had dark hair, that's where the kids get it from. And nobody in the Targaryens got dark hair, so it's not adding up. Now we end up, and you know what I just thought about? Now, it ain't just the fact that the babies don't look right, because remember, Cersei had this same issue, because Cersei, all her kids was by her twin brother, not by the king. What was that king name, y'all? But you having an affair with your twin brother, this is something that's punishable by death, but baby, you can trust your twin. Rhaenyra should have learned after Sir Christian, y'all got to be careful who the side pieces are. You got to pick good side pieces, because it can get you killed. Sir Christian already confessed easy as hell to Allison about what they had going on. So I feel like, baby, we got to be careful about the side pieces, and we got to pick them better. But after the little bit that we see of Sir Harwin, I think she did pick a good one. Now, I out that Targaryens cannot be burned, y'all. Now, the only Targaryen we met, because, they line kind of ends, the only Targaryen we met on Game of Thrones was Daenerys and her brother. And remember, Daenerys could not be burned. Fire did not do nothing to her. So I took away that that's a Targaryen thing. You can't be burned because we are the house of the dragons. Daenerys was the mother of dragons, and we can't be burned. But we end up seeing Rhaenyra and Alicent kids in the dragon pits training with their dragon and everything. Now, one of Alicent's her youngest son, does not have a dragon, which I was kind of confused why, but I think we kind of get an explanation later in the episode when Laena is talking to her daughter. But he does not have a dragon, and the kids kind of put a little joke on him, say, hey, we found you a dragon, but really it's a pig child that they put some little fake wings on. But he ends up going deep into the dragon pit and almost getting his little tail killed because the dragon breathes fire at him. But I'm saying, like, well, wait, I thought you can't be burned. But wait a minute, because Alicent not Targaryen, Viserys is. So can her kids be burned because they're not full blood Targaryen? Like, is that what makes you the unburnt, is you have to be full? Because Targaryens being that incest stuff. So is it that you have to be full blood Targaryen to not burn? I'm still trying to figure that out, y'all. But something happens in the end that leads me to believe my little theory, but we'll get to that. I don't want to jump ahead. Now, after meeting Rhaenyra's newborn, Alicent goes to Viserys and she is just going off about Rhaenyra. Like, baby, don't talk to me about my own daughter. Like, this was crazy. She was really just going off on his own daughter. And y'all know Viserys is weak and ain't got no backbone and don't act like a king. So he just letting her just fly off the mouth. And she pretty much says, 1 is a mistake, but 3 is a slap in the face to you, to the throne, to the match you worked so hard to create. But y'all, why does she care about the match that he created for her? Why does she care? I'm just so confused on why she's so hell-bent on this. But like I said, I'm going to guess it is because Rhaenyra was named the heir. That's the only thing I can think of, because other than that, this is so stupid and foolish and childish, and why do you care? Now, Viserys refuses to acknowledge any validity to Alicent's claims about Rhaenyra. Viserys know good and dang well what's going on. He knew good and dang well that Rhaenyra was at that pleasure house with her uncle. But remember, when he gave Rhaenyra the title of heir, he also gave her the burden that is bigger than the throne, bigger than her. So I feel like he is just focused on holding the realm together. That's all he cares about. And why would I put my own daughter and grandkids to death? Because if he acknowledges the allegations, that is exactly what the consequences are. Because you either get banished or it's death. But baby, it ain't gonna be banishment. Alicent want them dead so that her son can just be the king and go straight to the throne without anyone to challenge. Now, Viserys ends up telling Alicent the allegations that you toy with has dire consequences and do not speak of this ever again. The way that Alicent talks about Rhaenyra's kids is so disgusting, and I find it so crazy how she likes to play this game of she's so upright and moral and it's all, about honor. But she talk about these kids. Alicent is the definition of F you and your kids. Like, she literally is just going so hard against these kids, just calling them all kind of names. So Viserys is not receptive. So Alicent ends up leaving and she goes off to Sir Christian about the situation, who is just right there with her. Like, baby, he is just scorned. And then y'all, how she mad at Rhaenyra for having sex with Sir Christian, but she not mad at Sir Christian? But see, that's why none of this don't make sense. Sir Christian is your right-hand man now, but he's the one who did the transgression with Rhaenyra, but you don't care about that. Now, Sir Christian ends up just going off, y'all, saying Rhaenyra is a spider and she stings and sucks you dry. And he calls her a spoiled, derogatory term that starts with a C. Like, baby, you is this spiteful and this upset after 10 years when you had sex with the girl one time? And the thing that's tripping me out is these perceived wrongs by him and Allison. And I say perceived because, y'all, really, what did Renera really do to Allison or Sir Christian? Allison asked her if she was not a virgin no more, if she hooked up at the pleasure house with her uncle, and she said no. She lied to say she was still a maiden. But baby, why would I say anything other than that when I know I can get killed or whatever? Like, why would I not lie? And why is it so serious for me to hold a grudge because somebody lied to me that they were still a virgin? Like I'm still this mad about that? And then with Sir Christian, like I said earlier, she still wanted to be with him, but she had to get married and unite House Valerian and House Targaryen and serve her dad. So, baby, what did she do to y'all? I don't understand. Sir Christian is mad because Renera would not disregard her duty and run away with him. He wanted her to give up her whole life and aspirations and comforts and just everything to run away with him so he could regain his honor. Really, it was all selfish. But since she didn't, now he just hell bent on not being honorable and just being vindictive to innocent kids. Like, baby, I thought the whole issue was your honor. Now, Allison ends up saying to him, I have to believe in the end that honor and decency will prevail. Baby, didn't your daddy peddle you to the king when you was a preteen? But you over here talking about honor and decency? I don't understand. And then, y'all, the icing on the cake. Allison walks in and her son is standing in the damn window, the same window that Cersei's son jumped out of. He's standing in the window, child, pleasuring himself. And she just walked up in that mug and just started talking. Like, this is just normal and regular that he's standing in the window doing that. But you was just talking about honor and decency, child. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And she, y'all, I can't. You know good and doggone well that her son is not finna wait till he married, but she going hard again. Y'all, it just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. Allison has the nerve to talk down on Renera kids, calling them savages. But from what we done seen so far, baby, Renera kids is better acting than Allison's. Like, Allison kids are the savages. Baby, you standing up in the window, you know, what the hell are you? Like, that is insane. Now, she ends up telling Aegon that as it stands, Renera will ascend the throne and her sons will be the heir. And he's just like, so? Like, I don't care. Baby, I'm living up in the palace. The king is my daddy. I got a good life. I'm cool. I'm happy with my nephews. I'm happy with my nephews. And I'm happy with my sister. Go on, let her get on the throne. But Allison gets upset, grabs his face, and she is like, she will cut you off. She will cut off any challenge to her succession. And he's just like, then I just won't challenge. But Allison, it's like, look, your existence is the challenge. Just living and breathing is the challenge because you are the king's firstborn son and the true heir. But again, everything she says just plays to my point. Your daddy put you in this situation. She feels like, oh, I gotta fight so hard to protect my son because Allison can kill him. And I got, like her daddy said, you gotta just pray for Rhaenyra's, did I say Allison? I meant Rhaenyra's. Pray for Rhaenyra's mercy, like her dad said, because when it's time for her to ascend the throne, she could just kill off Allison's sons. But your daddy put you in this position. Your daddy knew that Viserys named his daughter as heir to the throne, and he summoned you to go into Viserys' chambers as a preteen so that you could give him sons. And therefore, he put your child life at risk before your child was even born. Like, y'all knew the setup before y'all even birthed these kids. Like, it just does not make sense that, whatever, child. Now, Allison once said to her dad, is that the type of man you would have me raise? One who would try to steal the title from his own sister. But now, as the tables have turned, that is exactly how she is raising her son to be. Now we end up seeing Lady Lena and Damien riding dragons in Pantos. Baby, they married with 2 kids and she pregnant. When I tell y'all, okay, this was a seamless time jump as far as us getting new actors ushered in, but baby, it's not so seamless with a lot of the stories because it's like we just jump smack dab in the middle of stuff and it feels like we missed like the beginning. Baby, last time I checked, Lena and Damien was just flirting at the little rehearsal dinner, and now they married with 2.5 kids. Now they end up getting a proposition from the Prince of Pantos. They pretty much just living in luxury, living the high life. Everything is just all good. They offer protection to the city with their dragons, and the prince ends up offering them residency, saying, you know, if they help protect the city, they are talking about some threat at the stepstones that's starting to bubble up. Baby, it's always a threat at the damn stepstones. So they say that people will give them offerings, they will get payment, they will live in luxury. And Lena don't want to stay. She don't want to take up the offer. But Damien says, yo, he want to take the offer. He is happy to be away from the politics of Westeros. Now, Lena... And see, this is why this time jump, this one is so jarring because I feel like we don't even really get a real sense of a real foundation between Lena and Damien as far as their marriage, as far as their relationship. Because child, you know, Damien is my favorite. I love that man. But we know he, you know, on the darker side of things in the Game of Thrones universe. So I'm like, does he really love Lena? How did this whole marriage come about? Because remember, they betroth you to people. You don't really get to pick who you marry, but did they get to pick each other? I wish we would have gotten more of an understanding of their dynamic and relationship, because baby, the little bit we get, he was being, you know, typical mean jerk Damien to the girl. Now we end up seeing Allison and Rhaenyra, 2 boys, well 4 total, at a sword lesson with Sir Christian, who is just blatantly a jerk to Rhaenyra kids as the king is up there watching. And I'm like, baby, why you not calling this out? But whatever. Now we end up seeing Rhaenyra's new side piece out there watching the whole thing going down, and Sir Christian is just like, baby, you so twisted up and mad that you even being evil to the little innocent kids, and how you supposed to be on the side of righteousness when your actions and motives are so ugly? Like, it just don't add up. But anyway, y'all, it's a lot of King's Guard. Why is Sir Christian the one that's appointed to teach the kids? Is this because Allison wants him to, you know, be messing up the little boys and, you know, Rhaenyra's little boys and not really teaching them the sword fight, so her sons have the advantage? Is that what's going on? Because I don't understand why it is him that's teaching the lesson. Now, they end up, Sir Harwin and Sir Christian end up getting into it because Sir Harwin is jumping in like, is this what you teaching them? Like, this is unfair. You teaching Aegon to be cruel and pick on the, you know, someone younger, because Sir Christian pairs off the 2 oldest kids, but the 2 oldest kids is like, baby, look, about 6 years apart. Like, one is much bigger than the other. Now, so Christian ends up calling out Sir Harwin like, oh, you kind of, you know, oddly invested in the boy's lesson, and, you know, insinuating that he's the real father, and they get into a fight. Now, Sir Christian pretty much baited Sir Harwin because, you know, he wants it to come out so that Rhaenyra is put to death. Now, the Hand ends up telling Sir Harwin after the fight, you know, they get together, they're in the hallway. Rhaenyra is told by one of the servants that something went down. So she's walking through the halls and comes upon the Hand and Sir Harwin conversation that she's overhearing. And so Harwin is being told that he is putting them all at risk by attacking Sir Christian, and that what he is doing is punishable by exile or death for him, Rhaenyra, and their kids. But I'm sitting here like, hold on now, baby. How is Sir Harwin in trouble for fighting Sir Christian when Sir Christian beat somebody to death and face no consequences? Like, that's not, I'm not understanding that. Now, the Hand ends up telling Sir Harwin that it is only the flimsy shield of the king alone that stands between him and the Handsman. And as he was talking, maybe Sir Harwin said something Well, I wish my daddy was son. I'm saying, like, wait a minute, that's his daddy? Y'all, Sir Harwin is the son of the hand. They just threw that in. I was like, hold on now, wait, what? Because y'all know Mr. Clubfoot is the only son of the hand that we have met so far. We have never met Sir Harwin until this episode. Now, Rhaenyra is reeling from this. She goes back to her chambers and Lenore comes in singing with his boyfriend, drunk, having a good old time. She asks the boyfriend, can he please excuse him for a minute? Lenore ends up talking about the stuff that's bubbling up in the stepstones and how he wants to go off and leave to join a battle, despite Rhaenyra asking him to stay and to not desert her and their sons, as the rumors are nipping at their heels and they got all this stuff going on that's threatening their life. She don't want him to leave, and he's just like, bitch, I'm out. So she ends up commanding him as the princess and heir to the throne to stay by her side and not leave King's Landing. And he ain't look too thrilled with that, but she has higher authority than Lenore. Now, we end up seeing Laena's daughter with her egg in the fire, and she tells her it's been 8 years. Half of them don't even hatch. And y'all, now I'm figuring out from that why Alicent's youngest son does not have a dragon. Because I'm like, I thought all the Targaryen kids get a dragon, but he likely did get a dragon egg, but the egg did not turn into a dragon. And Laena's daughter goes into how Daemon ignores her and how can she stay in Pentos if she don't have a dragon, because that's what they want from them. Now, I was wondering, is Daemon ignoring his daughter because he wants a son? But no, because he's not ignoring the other daughter who has a dragon. So I'm going to presume it has something to do with the youngest dragon egg not hatching and turning into a dragon as to why he ignores her. But this is also why I was like, I wish we got more of a foundation of this marriage and everything that is going on with Daemon, because is he still just the evil Daemon, or is he far removed from that because he's far removed from Westeros and the politics of the Game of Thrones? Now, Daemon is out talking with Laena, being his callous jerk self, as she's talking about missing her brother, feeling like, yo, does Daemon miss Viserys? You know, miss his brother, miss home. She wants to have her baby at home. She don't want to be here. And he just being a jerk. And I'm just like, baby, why did you marry him? Did you not have a choice? Did you choose it? Like, do y'all have is he still going to the pleasure house? Is he faithful to this wife? Because remember, he didn't even care nothing about the last wife who he killed. But we get no real foundation of how he feels about her, in my opinion. Now, we end up seeing the council meeting. Now, baby, why is Alicent on the council? We end up seeing the council meeting. And baby, why is Alicent on the council? Was Rhaenyra's mama on the council? Since when is the queen on the council? Baby, was Cersei on the council? Why do I keep saying council instead of council? I can't talk, y'all. Now, I feel like this gonna be a problem because she just keeps scowling at Rhaenyra like she hate this girl, and not well, she's on the council, I'm going to presume, because she heeded her father's warning and she's trying to no longer be the naive girl she was. She's trying to make sure that she is in on all of the politics and the Game of Thrones to secure her son's spot as heir. So she's on the council now, but I don't agree. I don't like it. But Viserys ain't got no backbone. He just gonna let her just do what she do. Now, Alicent ends up calling an end to the meeting, and Rhaenyra is like, wait, I wish to speak. So Viserys tell everybody to sit down, but baby, Alicent don't sit. She stays standing because not even the king can tell her what to do, child. And Rhaenyra pretty much goes into how she has felt strife between their families as of late, and that in the end, they are all one house. And before that, they were friends. She's pretty much offering that they betrothed her son to Alicent and Viserys' daughter, and that also when the dragon has his next batch of eggs, Alicent's youngest son, who does not have a dragon, can get first pick. And of course, Viserys is happy as a pig in mud. He is just elated at this. But y'all, Allison sitting there like, nah, bitch. But y'all, why as Rhaenyra is talking, she ends up leaking breast milk and everybody acting all perturbed. And I'm sitting like, baby, she was leaking blood from her vagina walking through the halls of the castle. Viserys is the walking dead, but y'all perturbed by some breast milk leaking on a girl's shirt? This just ain't make no sense. Now, Viserys is gleaming and happy. Allison says, oh, they'll think about it. But y'all, this is what I mean about her being just her fake facade of being nice. She know good and doggone well she want to say hell no, but she gotta put on her airs. But as her and Viserys walks off, he pretty much tells her that this is a great idea. And she is like, hell nah, you can do whatever you want when I'm cold in the grave. But baby, ain't you the king? You don't need Alicent's permission, approval, anything to betroth y'all daughter to anybody's. But y'all, it's Viserys. And I'm really trying to figure out who was the catalyst to the end of House Targaryen? Because obviously when we meet House Targaryen in Game of Thrones, due to the Mad King, the whole house crumbled. Nobody was left but Dany and her brother, who was all somewhere else, not living in the castle because, you know. Now, the downfall ain't Viserys, even though he weak as hell. I want to say, is the downfall going to be Aegon? Because we already know that Aegon is going to win and take the throne. We just don't know how it all comes to be. Now, the Hand ends up going into Viserys' chambers and saying that he has to resign. His son's outburst and everything has put a shadow over his house. And Viserys is like, well, he done been banished from the city. Ain't that punishment enough? And the Hand is like, forgive me, your grace, but it's not. And Viserys is like, well, speak it then. Speak whatever this shadow is over your house. And baby, Alicent salivating. She ready for Rhaenyra and her kids to die. And she just like, yes, speak it. But the Hand refuses to actually say it because, of course, that would mean death for his own son. So that's the thing. Alicent is like mad at Viserys for being blind to everything that's happening, but who is going to willfully put their own child to death? Not the Hand, not Viserys, and not Alicent either. She wouldn't either. Now, Viserys ends up refusing to let the Hand resign, and he asks then, can he escort his son back home so that he can resume his duties there? And Viserys says yes. But I didn't get, baby, why you can't just have your son go home? Why did you have to escort him home? But anyway, we see Alicent talking to Lord Lars, I think is how you pronounce his name, Mr. Clubfoot. That's what I'm gonna call him. And they're talking about the situation and speaks of Hightower, her father, y'all know, the first Hand of Viserys. And he makes a good point when she's like, she wish her dad was here or whatever. And Clubfoot is like, you can't say, because they're speaking on how the Hand is no longer impartial because his son is the one involved in the affair with Rhaenyra and her kids. But Mr. Clubfoot says, well, you can't even say that your father would be impartial in this matter. And Alicent gets upset and it's like, no, but he would be impartial to me. But y'all, it's just such a double standard in all of this. Like, is it honor and truth or not? Or is it just you are out for your own and over anybody else's? Because it's just not, it's giving double standard and hypocrisy. It's not making any kinds of sense. Now, she tells Mr. Clubfoot she wish her daddy was here. And y'all, he gonna take that and run with it. We see Mr. Clubfoot, he got some kind of little cane with a symbol on it. And then we see the symbol pinned on folks later in the episode. Y'all, what's that symbol? Who read the books? Who could tell me what that symbol supposed to be? Now, Mr. Clubfoot goes to some prisoners who have been sentenced to death, and he tells them he can grant them mercy, but first they must pay a little price. And y'all, the little price is they get their tongues cut out. And I'm sitting here like, well, baby, what is he doing? I was thinking he about to go have Rhaenyra and her kids killed and just dead all this right now. Now, we end up seeing Lady Lena in childbirth, and the child will not come. I think, what's the doctors called back in back in these days? The Grand Maester is the doctor at the castle, but I think he's like the head. So they all ain't called Grand Mason, but the little midwife man, nurse, doctor man tells Damien that the baby will not come and that they can use a blade to get the baby out. And remember, y'all, we saw that gruesome death of Rhaenyra's mom in episode 1 when they had to cut the baby out of her. And it's just crazy how stuff could child. So I gotta be careful what you say, because Damien was joking about the air for a day when Rhaenyra's mom, Viserys' wife, died in childbirth and they had to cut the baby out and then the baby died. And now look, Damien is in the same exact position Viserys was in. They were both told, we can cut the baby out. Your wife won't survive. We can't guarantee the baby will survive either, but it'll give the baby more of a chance. They were both put in the same exact position. But I find it interesting that Viserys agreed to have the baby cut out, agreed to his wife being killed because he wanted that boy so freaking bad. But Damien, the one who is the, so-called black sheep of the Targaryen family, the one that's not as upstanding as his brother, he don't make the same call. Now, we end up seeing Lena stumbling out, going to where her dragon is. And I'm just like, baby, it was so many folks around her bed. Damien was there. How she just got up out of there? Now, she goes to her dragon and commands that he burns her. And he kind of just sitting there, and y'all, this is why I was sitting here like, well, wait a minute. I thought Targaryens cannot be burned, but now she commands the dragon to burn her. Eventually he does, as Damien is running out. And I'm like, baby, how you just suddenly running out? Y'all didn't see the pregnant, in pain, crippled over in pain lady leaving out the castle? How she got out here before you? But anyway, now remember, Lena's parents is the sea snake, who is Valerian, and Rhaenys, who is Targaryen. So she is not full blood Targaryen. So I am still sticking with, if you are full blood Targaryen, you cannot be burned. That's my speculation from Dany. Now, Damien is a widow again. This time he ain't kill his wife though, child. And he has 2 daughters. And I'm just really wondering, y'all, what's finna go down? What's finna happen? Cause he already ignored the younger daughter. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with that. But y'all know Damien gon' Damien. He is the best part of this show, in my humble opinion. Now we end up seeing Sir Harwin saying goodbye to Rhaenyra and her kids, right? Now, when he leaves, and he said these is his kids, and he goes to the newborn, it's like, by the time he ever meet me, I'll be a stranger. And, he tells the older kids, I'll see y'all again one day, but it's likely going to be a really long time, baby. They ain't going to see you ever, but okay. Now, when he leaves, Rhaenyra's son asks, is Sir Harwin his dad? Am I a bastard? Now, y'all, I'm confused on why they keep throwing the word bastard around. Now, Jon Snow was a bastard. It's my understanding that a bastard means a child who does not know who their father is. So I'm confused why they keep calling Rhaenyra's kids bastards if we know the father. But anyway, he asks, is Sir Harwin his dad? Is he a bastard? And Rhaenyra pretty much says, you're a Targaryen. Like, that's all that matters. You're a Targaryen. So Rhaenyra ends up telling Lenore they going to Dragonstone. They leaving Westeros. They leaving King's Landing. And they should have been left. And of course, I was originally thinking, baby, you should have been got out of here. The second she got married, I would have been out of there because Alicent coming for you and your kids' neck. However, it does make sense that Rhaenyra stayed in King's Landing because we all know Viserys is weak-minded. And we all know that everybody is plotting because they don't want a woman to take the Iron Throne. And I feel like to solidify her place on the throne as her dad's heir that he named, yes, you need to be here. You need to be in the inner of the family. You need to be right by your dad. And when he died, you need to already be up in this mug and take the succession day, get on the throne, because you know it's going to be challenged. And I feel like it's a weaker position to be in if you are not here. But I get why she stayed, but she like, child, we got to get the heck up out of Dodge City, because they coming for our necks and the necks of our kids. And we end up seeing the Hand and Sir Harwin on their trip going back home. And baby, we see the prisoners that Mr. Clubfoot freed with that symbol I was talking about taped to their, or pinned to their shirt. Y'all, I knew this nigga was a snake, because y'all know how it is in the universe of Game of Thrones, but I did not know he was so low down. Y'all, this fool kills his own father and brother. His own father and brother. But I was confused, like, what does this gain for you? Like, okay, let me stop jumping ahead. He ends up burning them. His brother literal burns to death. Like, baby, if you gonna kill me, at least make it merciful. Can you like just chop my head off, or like kill me instantly? Baby, I don't want to burn to death. Like, that was so evil. But Mr. Clubfoot ends up going to Allison and telling her about the deaths, and pretty much he killed his dad and brother for her at her word. He was like, nah, go get your daddy. Go get your daddy. We had a conversation. You said you wish your daddy was here. I done got rid of the Hand who was my daddy. I done got rid of my brother. Now go get your daddy. And I know when the time comes, you gonna do me a favor, because I just killed them for you. Baby, Allison don't even understand who she done got in bed with. But like I said, I am still kind of confused on the purpose and what he gains by killing his own brother and dad. Because yes, he got this over Allison's head. He gonna have a favor in the tuck. Hightower finna come back, and we already know how much I can't stand him and everything, you know. But how does this serve Mr. Clubfoot? You ain't gonna be on the throne, but I guess being close to who on the throne is powerful enough. Now, I was confused why Allison looked so shocked at them being killed, because the crime she accusing them of leads to them being killed. So Harwin would be killed either way. So I don't understand why she was sitting there looking so shocked at the deaths. Baby, everything you is putting into play and putting into motion means death for Rhaenyra, so Harwin, and their kids, and their newborn baby, because baby, they would kill the baby. Now, I stand by my prediction that, because we already know Aegon takes the throne. Like, that is known. We just don't know how they get there. And I stand by my prediction that Rhaenyra and all her kids and Lenore gonna all be slaughtered. But I think that right before they're killed, she is going to tell Sir Christian that the oldest son is his. Because y'all, it's been 10 years, right? It's a 10-year time jump. We don't know if she drank that Plan B tea. So all the babies got dark hair. Both of her side pieces had dark hair. I really feel like she might say that the oldest is actually Sir Christian's son. So now, y'all, I gotta say, I was not impressed with the episode. I'm sorry. I'm bored. It's lackluster. I kind of was even half paying attention, because all I could say in my recap is stuff is boiling up at the Stepstones. I can't even tell you what is happening exactly, because baby, they was talking, but I was kind of just not even zoning in on it. But again, Damien is the best part, but we ain't even really get Damien in this episode like we normally do. I like the new actors. Like I said, I like the character of Rhaenyra, but I was not impressed with the actress playing Rhaenyra at all. She was not giving it to me like I needed her to. But I like the new actress. Like, she's straight. She's still not giving it to me like I need her to. But to her defense, she didn't really have anything really going in this episode that really needed her to really push past what she was given. Now, she did walk out the childbirth like a G. So we'll see what is to come on the next episodes. Child, we ain't got many more left, and we still not really getting that Game of Thrones, you know, death and shock and mayhem and chaos and just evilness that I have been expecting. And yes, we done got some deaths, child. Like, we got a few and like whatever, but it's just not on the level. Like, the rehearsal dinner was not the red wedding. Like, we haven't gotten anything iconic like that, which is just season 1. And yes, Game of Thrones, in my opinion, used to get very monotonous and boring at times, but we got big monumental moments. There has not been one moment so far on House of Thrones that I would call big, monumental, groundbreaking TV that I'm going to remember. Child, I can barely remember, and we're only at episode 6, and honestly, I could barely remember anything from the first 5 because nothing has really stood out or been groundbreaking outside of Damien. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.